At the peak of World War II, the British Prime Minister hatches a daring covert mission to eliminate the Nazis' fleet of U-boats, used to launch attacks on American aid ships. The operation is undertaken by an unconventional team of defiant soldiers, who through their courage changed the course of the war. Hey guys, welcome back to IM Movies. Today we'll be looking at the 2024 British action comedy movie, titled Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. But before we jump into the details, be aware there are spoilers. Now let's get right into it. The year is 1941, and the United Kingdom finds itself under attack by Nazi Germany, aiming to dominate Europe. London bears the brunt of this attack, enduring regular bombing raids and the relentless sinking of supply and aid ships by German U-boats. The German U-boats have effectively prevented American ships from reaching European shores, with much-needed help and supplies. Despite these challenges, Prime Minister Churchill remains resolute, refusing to yield to Nazi rule. With conventional tactics proving ineffective, Churchill takes a bold step, risking his position as Prime Minister. Brigadier Colin Gubbins and Lieutenant Ian Fleming, backed by the British Prime Minister, initiate a covert mission known as Operation Postmaster. This secret operation aims to destroy the Nazis' U-boat resupply operation in the Atlantic Ocean by sinking the Italian ship Duchessa d'Aosta. Duchessa is used in delivering vital supplies to the German U-boat and is docked on a neutral Spanish island off the coast of West Africa. Operation Postmaster is a treacherous mission, demanding men of courage and resilience. This prompts Gubbins to enlist the best man for the job, Major Gus March Phillips, who is currently incarcerated. Gus, known for his calm demeanor but with a ruthless edge, possesses a reputation for defying orders to ensure mission completion, which leads to his imprisonment. Gus is released early to lead the Operation Postmaster team and is made aware of the consequences: imprisonment if caught by the British government and torture to death if captured by the Nazis. For the mission to succeed, Gubbins permits Gus to enlist his own team of defiant soldiers. Gus recruits his comrades in arms, including Freddie Alvarez, an adept swimmer and explosives expert, Henry Hayes, a skilled sailor, and Anders Lassen, aptly named the Danish Hammer for his prowess in fighting with bow and axes. To facilitate the smooth execution of the mission, Gubbins assigns agents Marjorie and Heron to operate undercover at Fernando Po Island, serving as a diversion. Agent Heron, already established on the island, manages a thriving casino bar. Marjorie, a German Jewish actress and singer, assumes the role of a gold trader to distract the island's commanding officer Heinrich Löhr to enable Gus and his team to proceed with their mission undetected. However, Gus insists that the mission won't be complete without Jeffrey Appleyard, a master planner captured by the Nazis and tortured by the Gestapo. Utilizing the neutral Swedish fishing trawler called Maid of Honor, Gus and his crew sail slowly to Fernando Po. On their way, they divert to the Nazi military base to rescue Appleyard. Upon arrival, Lassen takes charge, eliminating the guards at the perimeter with his arrow, granting them easy access to the garrison. They catch the Nazi soldiers off guard, killing every one of them and rescuing Appleyard. Meanwhile, Marjorie and Heron journey by train. While aboard, Marjorie seizes an opportunity to acquire a classified Nazi briefcase. Pretending to head to the bathroom, she is blocked by a drunk Nazi soldier who inadvertently allows her to swap briefcases. Their commander intervenes, ordering his men to behave. The commander reprimands his men for their behavior. Then he approaches Marjorie, accusing her of committing a crime, causing her to fear, thinking she's been discovered. He demands she hand over the briefcase, citing it as improper for a lady to carry it in a gentleman's presence. Marjorie, relieved, asserts she can manage it, but he insists. At that moment, Heron intervenes, offering to assist her carry the briefcase, and they're allowed to proceed. In a sleeper compartment, Marjorie swiftly cracks open the briefcase while Heron sets up the radio, contacting the Special Operations Executive Headquarters. Marjorie relays the contents of the Duchessa ship, ensuring the information is duly recorded. The Special Operations Executive verifies the significance of the Duchessa's cargo, confirming it as a worthy target for sabotage. After transmitting the information, Heron and Marjorie discreetly return to the train dining car, seamlessly replacing the briefcase without being discovered. Upon their arrival at Fernando Po Harbor, Marjorie observes an unexpectedly large number of soldiers. While walking, they spot the harbor's commanding officer, Löhr, laughing hysterically after having tortured someone to death, which unnerves her. Heron introduces Marjorie to Löhr as the New York gold contact he had promised, despite Löhr's assertion that he had already made arrangements elsewhere. Marjorie's wit sways Löhr, convincing him to do business with her. After their meeting, Heron discloses his plan to distract the Nazi soldiers on the island with a party on the night of the operation, ensuring Gus and his crew can carry out the mission without interference. However, Löhr hates parties, leaving Marjorie with the task of persuading him to attend. Back at the sea, Appleyard suggests taking a wider route to avoid encounters with German U-boats or British warships, allowing them to arrive in 15 days before the Duchessa leaves Fernando Po Island. At the harbor, Heron escorts Marjorie to his casino bar, where they learn from a captain that the Duchessa is departing 3 days earlier than anticipated. As Lure joins Marjorie at her table, the subject of Jews arises, and Marjorie defends the Jews. She mentions she's Jewish too, but laughs it off as a joke. Later, Heron and Marjorie contact the headquarters, informing them of the earlier departure of the Duchessa and the heightened military presence at the harbor. In response, headquarters advises the maid of honor to adjust their plans, opting for a riskier, shorter route to ensure they arrive a day before the Duchessa will depart. While on board, Gus and his men receive commendations from the Prime Minister, praising their bravery and wishing them success in their mission. As they draw closer to Fernando Po Island, they encounter a British destroyer ship whose commander questions their quest. Gus informs him that they are fishing, and the commander asserts that their mission could provoke the Nazis, leading to further complications. He reveals that they have been sent by Admiral Pound to stop their unsanctioned operation and bring them back. Their discussion is abruptly interrupted by an alarm signaling incoming bombs from German U-boats. Gus and his crew hastily retreat from the area, narrowly escaping the explosion. Unbeknownst to them, a mole within the select operatives privy to the secret mission is leaking information to Admiral Pound. Facing the challenge of the heavily guarded island, Heron and Marjorie seek assistance from Heron's friend, Camp Billy, Prince of Fernando Po. After a hearty chit-chat over some glasses of wine, Billy agrees to join them on the cause alongside 12 of his best men. Heron and Marjorie sends a rendezvous to the crew. At the rendezvous, the men exchange pleasantries and Appleyard briefs Billy on their objectives and strategy. Billy, who also detests the Nazis, eagerly joins them as they continue their journey. Later that evening, having returned to the harbor, Heron plants an explosive in the generator set to detonate at night to enable the men to sink the ship without being discovered. Meanwhile, Heron had planned 2 elaborate parties for distraction: an officer's costume party and a soldier's beer fest. Marjorie, dressed as Cleopatra, invites Lure to dress as her Caesar. Lure turns down her request, proposing they attend a dark Nazi party instead of a costume party which seems like a kid's affair. However, Marjorie persuades him, her allure proving too irresistible for Lure to resist. As the parties kick off, the doors of the bar are promptly shut behind the guests. Inside, Heron employs prostitutes to keep the soldiers engaged while ensuring the officers indulge in copious amounts of drinks to dull their senses. Meanwhile, Gus and his team bide their time, awaiting the lights to go off to execute their mission. Marjorie, clinging to Lure, encounters the captain of the Duchessa, who jestingly discloses that Lure mishandled the Duchessa, prompting them to reinforce its hull, making it unsinkable. Marjorie excuses herself and shares the information with Heron. Although this is a sudden disruption to their plan, it's a good thing they got the information. Otherwise, their mission would have gone awry. Marjorie implores Heron to halt the operation, although it's almost too late. Heron leaves the party to alert the team, speeding to the perimeter to warn Gus and his men. Just then, the explosive detonates, and the lights go out. Fortunately, Heron had the foresight to adorn the party with bright lanterns, preventing anyone from noticing when the lights went out. Drawing the crew's attention with a flashlight, Heron swiftly communicates with the maid of honor and headquarters, relaying the information about the ship's reinforced hull. While on the call at headquarters, Gubbins is confronted by Admiral Pound, who orders him to put an end to the secret mission, or risk facing the tribunal with his cohorts. In response, Admiral Pound directly orders Gus to abort the mission, threatening to incarcerate them. Gus tells him to F off, further provoking Admiral Pound, who vows to recommend Churchill's removal as Prime Minister. Fleming and Gubbins urgently contact the Prime Minister, informing him of their challenge and Admiral Pound's threats. The Prime Minister asserts his authority and orders them to disregard Admiral Pound's directives. Despite losing contact with the crew, Gubbins reassures the Prime Minister of Gus's resilience in the face of adversity. Meanwhile, at Fernando Po, the crew are confused and they ponder on a plan B. Fortunately, Appleyard intervenes with a plan to hijack the Duchessa and the tugboats and deliver them to the British Navy. Meanwhile, at the party, Marjorie performs a captivating song to keep Lure and his men occupied. However, her song accidentally hints at secret activities happening at sea, making Lure suspicious. While singing, Marjorie's Yiddish accent slips out, revealing her Jewish identity and confirming Lure's suspicion. Outside, Gus and his crew quietly move around the harbor, taking out patrolling officers. Freddy plants explosives around the harbor on their speedboats and boatyards. Once the explosives are set, Freddy locks the casino door. The crew eliminates guards on land and aboard the Duchessa. They attach the ship to Billy's boat before detonating the anchor to start towing. The explosion draws the attention of the party guests, and Lure takes Marjorie to interrogate her. But his plan is disrupted when one of the explosives on the boatyard explodes before time. As they step outside, they see Duchessa being towed away, prompting the German soldiers to open fire on Gus and his crew. A fierce gun battle ensues, resulting in numerous casualties, with Hazy sustaining a gunshot to the shoulder. Freddy helps him to safety amidst the chaos. Lure is confronted by the harbor master and Duchessa captain, who blame him for the disaster. In a fit of rage, Lure kills them both. When he orders the soldiers to prepare the speedboats for pursuit, the boats explode, followed by an explosion in the harbor, crippling their chances of chasing after the crew. One of Lure's men arrives at the harbor with Marjorie in chains. Realizing he's been outwitted, he threatens to torture Marjorie, but she swiftly kills him. Heron kills the men around, and he and Marjorie escape, eventually catching up with Gus and the others using a patrol boat. Days later, Gus and his team arrive at a British harbor and are promptly incarcerated for disregarding orders, while Billy and his men return to their base. 4 weeks later, the Prime Minister personally orders the release of Gus and his crew. He honors them with a heartfelt speech and a lavish dinner, recognizing their bravery and changing the course of the war, allowing American aid and rendering the Germans handicap. The Prime Minister then declares them as his personal warriors. And this is where our story ends. If you'd like to see us recap any other movies or topics you have in mind, just drop a comment and let us know. And don't forget to hit the like button, share this recap, and subscribe to stay updated for the next one. Until next time.